The most dangerous predator is the one that convinces you they are the prey. You know that feeling when you walk into a room and instantly sense something is off, when everyone else seems charmed by the narcissist, but your gut screams danger. That is not your paranoia. We are programmed to believe it is. No, it's not that. That is your awakened empath radar picking up frequencies others cannot detect. As an awakened empath, you have developed something that makes narcissists both fear and target you. The ability to see through their carefully constructed facade. You are like a human lie detector, picking up on micro expressions, energy shifts, and the subtle inconsistencies that reveal who someone really is beneath their performance. And the heartbreaking truths that awakened empaths discover about narcissists are just a part of that learning. These truths are not the obvious red flags everybody knows about or talks about. These are the hidden realities, the profound sadness beneath the surface, and the tragic patterns that only someone with your heightened sensitivity and deep understanding can perceive. I am Danish, a narcissistic abuse recovery professional. Welcome to my channel. Today's topic is going to reveal 5 sad truths about narcissists that only awakened empaths know. Truths that no one else knows because they're too painful, too complex, or too deeply buried for most people to recognize. If you are an awakened empath, you have probably sensed these painful realities but could not understand why your heart breaks for someone who hurts you. Let's get deeper, but before we do, we're just some 100 followers away from 500k. Let's celebrate it together. If you have not subscribed already, go ahead and press that subscribe button. Truth number 1: narcissists are desperately lonely but push away everyone who tries to love them. Beneath all the bravado and manipulation, narcissists are profoundly, achingly lonely. Not the kind of loneliness that comes from being alone, but the existential loneliness of never being truly known or understood. You have probably felt this sadness radiating from them in quiet moments, when the mask slips and you catch a glimpse of someone who is terrified of genuine connection because they have never experienced it. They desperately want to be loved, but they systematically destroy every opportunity for real intimacy. As an awakened empath, you can sense the deep yearning for connection, which is why you probably tried so hard to reach them. You felt their pain and wanted to heal it. But you can't do it. They sabotage every genuine attempt at love because they're terrified that if you really knew them, you would leave. So, what do? They create chaos, pick fights, and push you away first. Now, you may argue, well, if they want love, why don't they receive it? The problem is they think they are perfect. The deep shame within is suppressed in the chambers of their heart. They keep that shame, that inner knowing, so suppressed that they themselves remain disconnected from it. But the truth is, they know they do not deserve true love. They would rather be alone by choice than abandoned by someone they care about. This pattern has played out their entire life, leaving them increasingly isolated despite being surrounded by people. Truth number 2: narcissists are never grateful and see your genuine kindness as fake. This truth will shatter any illusions you had about reaching them. Narcissists are never truly grateful for your kindness, and they convince themselves that your genuine care is fake. It is the ultimate projection. They assume you are as calculating and manipulative as they are because they literally cannot comprehend authentic goodness. You have probably experienced this devastating realization. No matter how much you gave, how patient you were, or how many times you showed up for them, they never seemed genuinely appreciative. As an awakened empath, you could sense their dismissiveness even when they said thank you, because it was said half heartedly. It felt hollow because it was. The heartbreaking truth is that they lie to themselves about your motivations. When you show them kindness, what do? They immediately start analyzing what you want in return because that is how their mind works. That's how they are. They project their own manipulative nature onto you and convince themselves that your love is just another angle and another game. What makes this particularly cruel is that they are simultaneously initiated by your kindness and excited by it. Crazy. They see your compassion as weakness, something that disgusts them about you, but they love the fact that they can weaponize it. Your empathy becomes ammunition in their hands. This is why they often become more cruel after you have been especially kind to them. It is a strategy. They have identified your kindness as both your weakness and their opportunity. They're not grateful, they are calculating. They know how to exploit what they see as your pathetic need to please them. Truth number three: narcissists are haunted by a version of themselves that never got to exist. Perhaps the most devastating truth that awakened empaths perceive is that narcissists are mourning a version of themselves that never got to develop. We call it their real self. Deep down, they know they're not living authentically, but they do not know how to be any other way. You have probably sensed this moments where they seem almost nostalgic for something they never had. They may mention dreams they gave up or talk about who they wanted to be before life hardened them. As an awakened empath, you can feel their grief for the person they may have been if they would have been loved unconditionally as a child. This creates a profound sadness because they are simultaneously the victim and the perpetrator of their own story. They are trapped in patterns that protect them from further hurt, but those same patterns prevent them from experiencing the love, healing, and the connection they desperately need. It's just such a mess. They know they are hurting people, which creates an additional layer of self-loathing. They hate themselves for being the way they are, but they do not want to change. It's like being trapped in a prison of their own making, where the very behaviors that once protected them now isolate them further. Truth number four: narcissists are terrified that you will discover they are not that special. They do not want to be seen as ordinary. Their entire identity is built on being exceptional because being average feels like death to them. You have probably felt this desperate energy around them, haven't you? The constant need to prove themselves to be seen as unique, important, or irreplaceable. As an awakened empath, you can sense their panic when they think they are being seen as common. This fear drives so much of their behavior. They cannot just be loved for who they are because they do not believe who they are is enough. They tell you otherwise. They tell you you're not enough, but this is the reality. They think they need to be the smartest, the most successful, the most attractive, or the most troubled, in case it is a covert narcissist, to be worthy of attention. The tragic irony is that their humanity, their flaws, their struggles, or the ordinary moments is what actually makes them lovable. But they're so afraid of being seen as imperfect that they never allow anyone to love their real self. They are performing 24/7, exhausting themselves, trying to maintain an image, the false self, of specialness that ultimately isolates them from genuine connection. Truth number five: narcissists will never change, and deep down, they do not want to. The final and perhaps most devastating truth is one that awakened empaths resist accepting. Narcissists will never truly change, and on some level, they do not want to. This isn't because they cannot, it is because their entire sense of self depends on maintaining their current reality. You have probably sensed this stubborn resistance even when they claim they want to change. As an awakened empath, you can feel that beneath any promises or tears, there is a fundamental unwillingness to do the real work. They may go through the motions of therapy or self improvement, but you can sense they're just learning new ways to manipulate, not to change. The only person that changes in such a relationship is you, and their change would require them to face the full extent of the damage they have caused, to feel genuine remorse, and to rebuild their entire identity from the ground up. This feels like psychological death to them. It is a psychological death. So they choose to remain in their familiar patterns of destruction. They convince themselves and others that they are trying to change. They may have moments of insight or make temporary adjustments by becoming who you wanted them to be. But you can feel that these are surface level modifications designed to keep you there in their web, not genuine transformation. I think the most difficult part for an awakened empath is accepting that your love, patience, and understanding cannot save someone who does not want to be saved. Narcissists would rather maintain their destructive patterns than risk the vulnerability required for real change. Now, these truths that I shared with you do not excuse their crazy behavior. Instead, they help explain the profound sadness that you, as an awakened empath, may sense. You need to understand that narcissists are trapped in destructive patterns, but that does not mean you have to sacrifice yourself trying to save them. The tragedy is not that they are misunderstood victims, it is that they are choosing to remain in patterns that destroy relationships and hurt innocent people. They may have been wounded, right? But they have become the wounders, and that's not okay. They resist every opportunity for genuine healing. As an awakened empath, your ability to sense these deeper truths is both a gift and a burden. You see the complexity of their situation, which is why you probably tried so hard to help them, haven't you? But understanding their psychology does not mean you have to accept their abuse. Your compassion is a beautiful thing, but it needs to be balanced with wisdom and self protection. You can acknowledge the sadness of their situation, yes, but you have to maintain your boundaries and uh, protect your own well being. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is walk away and let them face the consequences of their choices. You see, understanding these truths is not about becoming cynical or closed off. It's about honoring your empathetic abilities and trusting your instincts. Your sensitivity is not a weakness, it's a superpower that can protect you from emotional predators. Remember, not everyone who triggers your empathetic radar is a narcissist. But when multiple red flags appear together, trust what you are sensing. Your awakened empath abilities have evolved to help you navigate complex social situations and protect yourself from those who would exploit your compassionate nature. The world needs more people like you, those who can see through deception, feel authentic connection, and refuse to participate in emotional manipulation. Your gift of deep perception is exactly what is needed to create healthier relationships and communities. So, what do? You trust your instincts. They're not just feelings, they are information that you got to take seriously. With that, let's bring this episode to an end. Thank you so much for listening. I will talk to you in the next one. Until then, as always, let the healing begin and continue.